Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Q Warrior, and here we only discuss the interview questions that is asked in the testing interviews. And if you are new to this channel, so it's very important to subscribe and also press the bell icon to get notification about this channel. And today we are going to see another important topic, and it's very important to watch this video till the end. So let's begin. So today's topic is static test design technique. So it is also one of the important question asked in ISTQB certification and as well as in the manual or testing interviews. Okay, so the testing, the interviewer can ask you like how many static test design techniques are there, name them, and they can also ask you one or two particular test design techniques, and he will ask you to explain the same. So it's very important to focus till the end of this video and hope you will get to know a lot more information regarding the static testing design technique. Okay, so what happens in the static testing is that we don't execute any code, means we don't work on any application or software. Okay, rather we manually check the code requirement document and the design document to find error. Okay, we only check requirement documents and design documents to find error, hence it is called as static. Okay, hence the full name of this testing is static testing. The main objective of this kind of testing is to improve the quality of the software product or the application by finding defects in the early stages of the development cycle. So if the defect is found in the early stage like requirement gathering only, so the developer will not waste their time fixing those defects. Okay, so once the defect is found in the earlier phase, it will save a lot of effort and time. Okay, the testing, this kind of testing is also called as non-execution technique or verification techniques. Okay, and this static testing is basically divided into two parts. First part is static testing, that is done manually, and another static testing done using tools. Okay, so let's understand both the static test design technique in details. Okay, so if we are talking about static test design technique, so there are several participants who participate in the review process. Okay, so there are generally four participants. First is moderator, author, scribe, reviewer, and manager. One interview question can also come that the interviewer can ask you to explain the role of moderator or the role of author, the role of scribe or reviewer. So it's very important to focus in this part as well. Okay. So what this moderator does, it that they perform the entry check, follow up on the rework, coaching team member and schedule the meeting. So coaching team member in the sense that if there are newly joining team member, so they will not be efficient to work directly on the application. So they provide some KT or they require some kind of training. So that is arranged by this moderator. Okay. They also follow up on the rework. So for example, in the meeting, if it is decided that they need to rework on any of the requirement, so the follow-up is done by the moderator. Okay, second one is the author. So author is the person who takes the responsibility for fixing the defect that is found and improves the quality of the document. Okay, because as the name suggests, he is the one who has created this document. So he only takes the responsibility of fixing the defect found in the requirement or any other document. Okay. Now, third person is the scribe. So what the role of scribe is to log the defect during a review and also attends the review meeting. Okay. So he is responsible for logging the defect during the review. And there's also a guy called reviewer who will check the materials for defect and inspect. Material in the sense he will check all the requirement document, any knowledge capture document, any training material, any user guide that is available. So he is the one who will check the material. Also, if there is any update made to any knowledge capture document or any user guide, it will come to the reviewer who will inspect and provide the approval on the same. Then only it will be considered as the update made to that particular document. Okay. Last one is the manager. He is the one who decides on the execution of the reviews and ensures the review process objectives are met. So the final approval of the review process is done by the manager. Okay. Now these were the participant in the review process. Now the various static test design techniques are: first, the manual, and another with the help of tools. So here the question comes, interview question comes, is how many type of testing design techniques comes under static. Okay, so here your answer should be, you should only include the manual ones, that is walkthrough, informal review, technical review, audit, inspection, management review. Okay, so most of the time interviewer is not concerned about the test design technique that is done with the help of tools. Okay, so more focus should be on the manual side. Okay, now when we talk about the manual static test design technique, the first technique comes is the walkthrough. So what happens in the walkthrough is that the author of the work or the product explains the product to his team. So for example, if I have any idea, so what I will do, I will explain my idea to the team regarding that software or the application, and the participants or the attendees of the meeting can ask any question if there is any. Okay, if they have any query, they can ask during the walkthrough meeting. So it is a meeting that is led by the author. Author is the person who has created the document. Okay, now also scribe is the person who makes note of the review comment. So scribe is generally responsible for logging of the defect, so he makes sure or note down all the review comments in the walkthrough meeting. Okay, now second is the informal reviews. Okay, it is also one of the type of the review meeting which does not follow any process. So for example, if I am creating any document and without going through the walkthrough process, just for a draft purpose, I showed my document to my team lead. So he reviewed my document and gave me some feedback on the same. So that can be considered as an informal review. Okay, which is also a type of review which doesn't follow any process to find errors in the defect. Okay, under this technique, you just review the document and give informal comments on it. So my team lead, what he will do, he or she will look into my document and he can suggest me the changes that is required in that document. Okay, now technical review. So the technical review, it is also a type of review which is consisting of your peers. Peers means your associates, your colleagues, who review the technical specification of the software and checks whether it is suitable for the project or not. So everyone in the team, including your colleague, they will look into the technical specification whether it is suitable for the project or not. Means whether it is suitable to implement with the technology they know, with the languages they have expertise. So all those kinds of discussion are done in this technical review. They try to find any discrepancies in the specification and standard followed. So it may happen that any standard is not followed in that particular requirement. So all those kind of discrepancies or the mismatch that is found in the requirement is found in the technical reviews. Okay. And also in this kind of reviews, it concentrate mainly on the technical documentation related to the software, such as test strategy, test plan, and requirement specification document. Okay. Now about the test plan, let me tell you, the test plan is a formal document which includes vital information like the number of resources that is required in that project, the environment in which the code will be executed. It may happen that two or three environments is included, the type of operating system on which the test cases will be executed, the test cases that is in scope, test cases that are out of scope. So all those kinds of vital information are documented in a document called as test plan that is shared by the test lead. Okay. Now another is the audit. So audit is also a formal evaluation of the compliance of the different processes and artifacts. So when I talk about the artifacts, so your test case, it is also artifact, your defect, it is also artifact, your knowledge capture document, your user guide, your requirement document. So audit is a formal evaluation of the artifacts with the standard and regulation. Okay. It is generally performed by the external or independent team or person. Okay. Why it is performed by the external team? Because if I am the auditor for my team, instead of highlighting any issue or error, what I can do, I can suggest them that please fix this error before I perform an audit. And in the audit, I will show that there was no issue or no error discovered during the audit. And this team is doing everything in a proper manner. So that's the reason in order to check whether the team is working on the correct standard and regulation or not, this audit is done by the external or the independent team member. Okay. Now, another is the inspection. So the main purpose of the inspection is to find defect, and this meeting is led by a trained moderator. Okay. This meeting is led by a trained moderator. This review is a formal type of review and it follows a strict process to find the defects. Okay. So it's not like that if they have found any issue, they will not make a note of it. They will ask them to make changes and then again they will schedule any meeting. There is a strict process that is followed during this meeting. Okay. Now reviewers have a checklist to review the work product. So a reviewer will check the quality of your work with the help of a checklist. Okay, that whether your work that you have done meets the particular criteria or not as per their checklist. Okay, they record the defect and inform the participant to rectify those errors. So this is what I explained. So in inspection, all the defects and the errors are recorded and informed to the participant to rectify those errors. Okay, management review. So it is also a kind of review that is performed on different management documents like project management plan, test plan, risk management plan. So risk management plan, I will stop here. So risk management plan includes any emergencies or contingencies, backup. Okay. So for example, if any team member that is a critical team member, he is out of office and the work that he was doing will not be taken care by any other person because the new person who is working on his place is not well trained. So what happens in the project is that we always have a buffer resource who already have the knowledge that is already uh, possessed by the core team member. Okay, so for example, if I am going on a vacation, so I will give the full training to the backup resource or the buffer resource who will be working on my place. So it is also called as backup plan. Okay, so let me give you one more example, like in the case of epidemic like corona COVID-19. So many companies they took the backup plan. that instead of shutting down the office, they will encourage the employees to work from home. They will provide them laptops, they will provide them desktop, they will make sure that they have the internet connectivity, they are able to work from home. So this is also comes under risk management plan. Okay. Now, the static test design technique using the tools. So when I am talking about the tools, so it comes like analysis of the coding standards. Okay. The first one is analysis of the coding standard. So when I'm talking about the tools, so the coding standard consists of naming convention. If I am naming any element, so there should be any convention or the standard naming format which I should follow to name any particular element. Programming rules, layout specification. Okay. Also, tools such as compilers are available that help in this analysis. Okay. So this kind of analysis you can perform with the help of compilers. A check of the coding standard during the early phase of the development cycle save a lot of time and effort during subsequent stages. So this is what I have explained earlier also. The issues detected earlier will help you to save a lot of time and effort during the upcoming stages. Okay. Now, second one is the analysis of the code matrix. So what do we mean by the code matrix is the measurement of the cyclomatic numbers or the number of line of code or the depth of the nesting. So you can have seen that there are nesting in the for loops, like there are several for loops under a single for loop. So that is called as nesting. And also there are large number of lines of codes also for a particular application or software. Okay. The information helps to keep a check on the code and prevent it from becoming excessively lengthy, unwidely difficult to understand and maintain. So let me explain you the significance of the number of lines of codes. So for example, if I have a software which is having 10,000 lines of codes and I have the same application with only 3,000 line of code, so which will have a better performance? Obviously, the one with the 3000 line of codes because it has less number of codes and compiler will take less time to compile that code and its performance also will be well as compared to the one having 10,000 line of code. So it's very important to make sure that there is no excessive lengthy codes are available. Also, code reusability is ensured and maintained. Okay. Another thing is analysis of the code structure. Okay, so it gives an idea about the effort required to write or understand the code and to test it using particular tool and technique. Okay, so this kind of analysis include the analysis of the control flow, the analysis of the data flow, and the analysis of the data structure. So the control flow structure, what it means is it refers to the sequence of execution of the instruction. So in what sequence the code will be executed. Okay. So the first instruction will be executed first, then comes the second instruction, then third execution. So it decides the sequence in which the execution will be executed. Okay. Second thing is the analysis of the data flow structure, which means that in what manner each data item will be accessed and modified by the code. Okay. Third one is the analysis of the data structure. So it means that how the organization of the data will take place. So these are the three different analysis that is done under the analysis of code structure. First was the control flow structure, data flow structure, and the data structure. Now let's summarize what kind of question will be asked from this topic. So in this topic, you may be asked to mention about all the different static testing technique that is under the manual column. So you have to explain them: walkthrough, informal review, technical review, audit, inspection, and management review. They may also ask you about one or two techniques like walkthrough, informal review, anything they can ask you. So it's better to focus on all the techniques that is mentioned under the manual column. So that's all in this video, and we'll see most interesting and important topics in the upcoming videos. So please subscribe to my channel, like the videos, and also comment down on the video if you have any queries. And thank you for watching.